Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you an ultimate guide on how to play Venom in Marvel Rivals. So Venom's got a huge health pool, although he does suffer in some areas that other tanks really excel at because he doesn't really have a shield to protect his team. The way that he goes about this is by providing a bunch of pressure on the enemy, as well as having the biggest health pool, because whenever his health goes down, he can replenish it with his shield. So the best way to play Venom is to, I see a lot of people actually using the swing to dive bomb their way in. But one thing about Venom is he has a wall climb. With this wall climb, you can also sprint. So you can see here that we're sprinting on the wall. You can turn it into a crawl, but when you sprint, you run at 9 meters per second versus the 3. So you can jump up really high and then go with your diving strike this way. Why I like to go this way is because whenever you do it like this, you keep your swing if you need to get away. Because with Venom, you need to have a good peel game. It's just plain and simple. So you get in, you cause your chaos. Whenever the enemies are attacking you, you're going to want to pop your shield when you get to around 100 health. However, there's a few little problems with this, because if Venom gets crowd controlled, he actually can't pop up his shield. And if you don't have your shield at a very low amount of health, you don't get that much health back. So it is a game of trying to make sure that you sustain and hold out until the last moment to pop your shield. Because you see there, you only get 100 health if you were to pop it at full health. And what it does is it gives you 100 health plus 120% of your missing health. So you can get well over 1600 health here. It will decay over time, so that is something to keep in mind, that it is just temporary health. But Venom also has a unique attack because he's the only Vanguard that can hit critical hits. And you can see here that our attacks will go through enemies. So if we're attacking someone here, we can actually hit another target there. And that's actually pretty good. His attacks have a 15-meter range, and his attacks will only do 20 damage. So you can see here, it's not a lot of damage, and you got to land all 4 hits. It's kind of like in a burst. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But you can headshot with this, which makes it a pretty good option for getting in the face of tanks. And that's where Venom really does his best damage, because tanks have larger hitboxes for their heads. And as you're a tank, you're going to want to get in right close to other tanks too. So with his attacks, he also has melee attacks you can use. So you follow up with a bite attack there. I wish he got a little bit of health from the bite. I think that would be pretty cool, because there's no real reason to use his melee attack here, because his attacks come out so quickly. You can go with like a melee in between, but it's not really the same as just going with his main attack, because the damage is just going to come out as quickly. Now his alternative fire will allow you to grapple enemies. It does 5 damage when it first hits, and then after 3 seconds it'll do 80 damage to the target. It also will slow the targets by 15%, allowing you to get in close and just hammer them with pressure on your main fire attack. So that is another nice thing about that. But yeah, you want to run in, dive bomb the healers, or dive bomb. Typically healers would be your best bang for your buck, but you can also get up in the face of a tank if you don't have anything else really to focus on, like if the healers are hiding away and you can't get to them. And then you can follow up with your swing. Now there's a few ways you can go about using the swing. You can actually go with easy swing on, so you don't have to think about it. It'll just grapple onto the nearest high point, and you can just use this to come in and do your attacks from. But what's also good about this is you can also turn off the easy swing, and you can use it to grapple onto the ground. So under the settings specific to Venom, you got the hold to swing, so you can turn this on or off. So you can press it and then press it again to release your swing, or you can just press and hold it. I like to have this off personally, just so that it's a little bit easier at a time. But then the easy swing, you can also turn this off, because when it's on, it'll automatically grapple to a high point. But you can actually use his grapple to go in and grapple to a low point to actually just close the gap between an enemy. So that is another reason that it's nice. But sometimes if you're attacking, you just need to get away. Having easy swing on to be able to dive bomb away is nice. I see some people online say that the only good way to play Venom is with easy swing off. I disagree. Sometimes it's just better to get in, apply your pressure, and not have to think about where you're going to aim. Unless you're like a really great player, typically having easy swing off will be a little bit better for you. But you can see here, you can use this to get in close to enemies without much effort, so that can be really nice as well. So typically once you get pretty low health like this is when you want to pop your shield, because then you can see we now have 1700 health. It will hold, and then it starts to decay. So by this point, you should hope that your healers are coming after you. And if they're not, that's when you want to be able to swing away and get to a safe spot or find heals. So as Venom, it's also nice to know where all the heals are. Now for Venom's ultimate, this is a really useful ult because it'll give you temporary health. It does 50 damage plus 50% of the maximum health or 50% of the health that the target has remaining. So using this on other vanguards is really good because you can go in, attack with your ultimate, get a bunch of temporary health. If you're able to grab like 2 or 3 vanguards, which is not always likely, but you can see here the area of effect that it hits in, you can get a lot of health back this way. So again, you want to go after targets that have maximum health because you'll get more health this way. And then that gives you a nice sustain, so you can just go in, cause chaos, and then you'll have your shield as a bit of recovery whenever those shields go away. So it really is about managing all your health at all times, but if you got competent healers, this will go well. Another nice thing is Cloak and Dagger actually works really well with Venom because when you're swinging, you can still get health. So if you need to peel away, you can use, if you have a Cloak and Dagger, that is effective for keeping you alive. But you also have this Diving Strike here, which will do 65 damage and launch targets up into the air. So that can be really great for just getting extra damage in as well as a start to combat and just a way to break things up. So you want to dive, whenever you come into combat, you want to start off with using your dive attack. So it'll look something like this. You're going to run up a wall, jump off the wall, diving strike, pop your grapple like this, and then start causing chaos like that. It'll do a bunch of damage, try to get a couple headshots in, and then once your health goes low, pop your shield, and then just kind of float around dealing damage till you need to swing your way away. So I'll show off what this looks like in a real game here. As I mentioned, you want to be climbing up walls whenever possible to use your dive attack, as this will give you a nice vantage point, but also save your swing for if you need to get away, because that is something that you always have to be considering. As your health drops, you want to pop your shield. So you can see there, I popped that up, and it's quickly declining. So we got to continue to cause our chaos, and then we were able to get a knockout, which was perfect, and then I was swinging away to the health after that. So really, the thing with Venom is just applying pressure until you can't apply it anymore. It's priority to make sure that you stay alive, so if that means swinging away so that you can run to a health pack, so be it. You do have to focus on keeping alive as well as protecting your team. But as I said, Venom doesn't really have a shield to protect your team like Doctor Strange, Magneto, Captain America do. So with his abilities, it's all about getting in to just cause a bunch of chaos like you can see here. So there I used the ultimate to be able to get a bunch of extra health from this Groot who had a bunch of health, and you typically want to be using that on tanks, as I mentioned, to get the most amount of health for yourself. But honestly, if there's any chance where you can get to knockout with it, I would recommend going for that too. But to give yourself the most sustain, it's best to go for targets that have a lot of health like healers. So here we had a really nice push near the end, and again, they were stuck with me and Spider-Man, who was doing a lot of damage to both of them and causing a lot of crowd control. Here I used my melee attack because I was having a hard time hitting them up close. So don't be afraid to pop that out if the target's really low on health, because your melee will actually attack in a cone. Hulk threw up his shield there, but I was still able to get some extra temporary health, which is really nice to see. But again, you want to be leveraging your attacks that go through targets. So you can see there we were able to get damage off on Banner and then also hit the Penny. So again, starting off here, you don't even have to be that high to get your diving strike off, but it's a good way to interrupt the team whenever you're getting a combat encounter started, because with this, it just knocks them up in the air and kind of disorients them. So we got a really nice double attack there, or double knockout, as Venom's got some pretty good damage if you're able to aim for the head as much as possible. So you can hear those dings whenever you do get a headshot off, and that's priority. So getting in close to tanks, you can see here, it makes it a little bit easier to be able to get some headshots off. I went to go use my ultimate there, and he pulled me out of it, so that did suck. But yeah, other tanks are going to be good, especially if you can cut off their healers. You do want to harass healers, though, too. That's the primary function of a dive tank, is to get in and just cause chaos to the healers. But overall, really, with Venom, it's just really going after whoever's head you can grapple the easiest. Healers would be priority, but it's all about ensuring your own survivability here by popping your shield. And you can see here I was able to swing away. I still went and dived in because I could see that our healer was rocket, so his balls will be flying towards the enemies there. So I just kind of hovered behind this for cover, and I was able to sustain my full health there. So that was a successful way away from the enemy, and then I was able to get a nice easy double knockout here, and eventually a triple with the Squirrel Girl being very slippery to deal with. But as mentioned, you want to be focusing on a good peel game. Get in, cause chaos, get out, and that is really the main thing with playing Venom, is just causing as much carnage as you can possibly can. So yeah, I hope this video was useful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and you can hit the subscribe button below if you found this video useful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.